Hey everyone, welcome to the sit down. Today I have with me, I have Dustin Mills. You may know him from the great films he's made like Zombie A-Hole and and I just talking to you about this. I
And a
blanked on
bunch
this
of other ones.
and a bunch of other ones.
Put Monster Massacre,
Puppet
Kill
Master
That
Mac.
Bitch, Skinless, and her name was Torment.
There you go. And along with him we have Wes Allen. He's a producer on a new film that these two are gonna get together and do a project. So welcome, Wes.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I just love that be able to sit here and talk to, filmmakers, actors, whoever, you guys said that you're going to do a project together. So
Yeah,
her name was Torment II.
yeah. It's a sequel to a movie that I made earlier in the year that kind of made a splash and shocked me a lot. And I was kind of talking about it, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it or not. On my own bankroll, basically, because I knew that we wanted to do it this year, or at least get started on it this year. And I mentioned something about it, and then Matt and Wes, who write for and run the Blood Sprayer website, just contact me, and they were like, "Hey, let us run this for you. Like, let us produce and let us run this fundraiser for you." And it was awesome for me because I'm really used to kind of doing everything on my own. So the prospect of having help, especially from two guys that I trust a lot, was really, really exciting. So it just started snowballing from there, and now we're kind of in the middle of it.
Very cool. Yes. So tell us, if you can, without giving too much away to the people, tell us a little bit about the movie.
I don't know. Wes, why don't you, from like the perspective of someone who's watched the first film, talk about it? Because I feel like if I start talking, I'm going to reveal too much.
Yeah, that makes sense. If for those people that haven't seen the first one plays out in a really strange way. You're interspersed with these like almost like real time camera like video home camera footage of a woman wearing a mask, wearing a butcher's apron, torturing and dismembering a human being, and it's not in a there's nothing sexy about it. It's very clinical and mean, and
cool.
kind of soulless. And then it cuts to footage of. Have you ever seen? Have you ever watched footage on like a documentary or something on A&E or biography where it's basically like a patient or a prisoner being filmed and questioned and interrogated?
Right. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, you're cut with footage like that, except you never see the person's face. The person is faceless. Their face is pixelated. Their voice is altered, and so you're cutting back and forth with these clinical questions and these vicious, horrific scenes of violence, and just a lot of grotesque imagery. But that's not all there is to it. There's these other elements, these otherworldly elements that start to play in, and we're left wondering, just what is this? Who is this person? Who was this faceless person? Why did they do these things they did? And that's what Her Name Was Torment 2 is going to tell us. It's going to tell us just exactly who that person is, and let us know that maybe not everything that's going on is of the world that we understand, not necessarily of Earth, the Earth that we know. It's not as simple as this is a sociopath, this is a serial killer who's killing people. There's much more to it than that. And when we went to Dustin and said, "Hey, let us run this campaign for you, let us produce this movie," we had no idea just how insane because we sat down and talked, and he's like, "Well, I guess I should let you guys know about the movie." And so he explained it, and Matt and I were do I need to watch my language on here?
No. Go ahead. Go for
Okay.
it.
Okay, so he explained it, and Matt and I were both kind of like open mouth, kind of that like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's the story you had in mind the whole time? And we reacted that way when he explained it to us. This campaign, getting this movie funded, this is going to blow people's dicks off that love the first one. This movie is batshit crazy, and it is going to grab the underground by its balls and twist and twist and break your brain. And I'm super fucking excited about it.
My favorite thing is I love you, Wes. And one of my favorite things about doing this with these guys is the other producer, Matt Goodfriend. Every time I tell him something that I've added to the outline of the movie, or that I need to figure out the special effect for, or whatever it is, Matt just says, "I'm putting my name on this." Like, he's so bothered by. But what the whole thing was born from was I don't like torture porn movies, and I don't
stand the term.
And I don't like very many extreme movies. There are a handful that I love. So when I went into it, I was like, I'm going to try to make that kind of movie, but make it so that I would enjoy it. Like, take it to that level, have those elements in there, but try to create something that I would like and work in the elements that I would like. So I was watching a lot of they had just added not too long ago Autopsy to Amazon, which was a docu-series that was on HBO back in the day, which is really informative, but also really terrifying, like the way the music and the soundscapes that they use and stuff like that. So that was a huge influence. Also, like, you know, there's like a weird Faces of Death and influence, a weird Session 9 influence. Like, I kind of pulled from a lot of different places. I'm like, this creeps me out. I like this, and just kind of threw it in the pot, and what came out was Her Name Was Torment. And now two is like the Phantasm 2 or the Evil Dead 2 of Her Name Was Torment, where it's like, well, we had this much money for the first one. Now we're going to have 10 times that amount for the sequel, and it's going to just blow the fucking doors off. Like, it's crazy shit, and we have amazing people involved, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
the Empire Strikes Back of necrophilia.
There's the tagline. That goes on the posters. That's it. I want a shirt with that on it.
That's good. That's good.
That's it, man. I would wear. I would wear that shirt with pride.
Push the campaign with that now, Wes. Just like every time we post.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Tweet that out. That's the hashtag. So something.
Go ahead, Wolfman.
Oh, I was gonna say something that you said, Wes. You said it's gonna blow everyone's dicks off. Well, what about the females?
Well, Matt and I have described it as this because we're not gender biased. So as dicks are getting blown off, cheese, just removing every outward. We're taking it all. We're going to lay it right there with all the blown off dicks. It's going to be a pile of destroyed genitals when they are going to watch Her Name Was Torment 2. All their genitals are going to be left laying outside the theater in a heap.
And afterwards, they all get a shirt with the tagline on it.
Yeah.
That's right. And they'll get shirt that says, I survived the Empire Strikes Back of necrophilia.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we he's going, oh, geez, he's in charge of my money.
What I'm thinking about is what Matt's going to say about that.
Matt, knowing that we're here talking and he can't filter anything we're saying, he's eating Tums. I promise you.
You know, he's sitting there going, no, that's not the tagline. I got to put my name on this.
He's just sitting somewhere stewing because the chubby loud guys are in charge right now.
To reinforce something that Dustin said too, I'm the same way he is in terms of like extreme, super extreme movies. I think as horror fans, we all kind of go through a phase where we do like that stuff. There's really only a handful that have ever stuck out to me. The necromantic movies, Cannibal Holocaust would probably be in there. But generally, when I hear about, I'm more of I'm more of a Russ Meyer guy. I'm more of a cult film guy. I like more trash and camp than anything.
Mud Honey,
So
Super Vixen.
exactly. Um, so for us to for me to want to be a part of something that is for all intents and purposes extreme in the eyes of a lot of film fans, there had to be a different element. And Dustin, one of the things that I've always liked about Dustin's movies is they're never just what the surface says. It's never just a zombie movie. It's never just a monster. There's always so much more to it. If you've ever seen Easter Casket is kind of this like Catholic exploitation type movie on the surface, but there's so much other shit going on. There's so many details that get added to it. And I've told Dustin this a zillion times. It's never just what it is. It's always, Frank Henenlotter and kaiju movies and kids movies and then bright colors, and they're all thrown into the same tumbler and just shook around, and they get tossed out on the table, and this crazy movie comes out, but they're always fascinating. He is able to take very little money and make these fascinating, engaging horror films, exploitation films that stick with you. They're not just, like, oh, they're naked for the sake of being naked. There's always to it. And that's why we kind of knew, like, look, we got to make a movie with Dustin. We want, like, this movie needs to happen. People need to see how good this guy is. And God damn it, he needs a lot of money to do it.
Yeah. One of my favorite Dustin Mills movies, in fact, my favorite Dustin Mills movie is Zombie A-Hole.
Sure.
I mean, I just love it to death. I love everything about that movie. It's everything that you said. It's camp. It's a little bit of the kids' movies, a little bit of Pee-wee's Playhouse. You got the zombie in the box, kind of a
Pee-wee's Playhouse. I never thought about that.
Kwanji,
Yeah. We just need a talking window and.
We get Lawrence Fishburne?
I can call him.
Hey, Larry.
What's up, Larry? I call him Larry. I call him Larry Fishburne.
Fish.
If you can get a hold of Larry, then you can get a hold of old Frank Capra, or not Frank, but Frank Coppola, because
throwing down stuff here.
Well, Lawrence Fishburne was in Apocalypse Now.
Was he Larry when he was in that, or was he Lawrence yet?
I think he was Larry at the time. I think he was like Larry Fishburne.
Because in Nightmare 3, he was Larry.
Yeah,
Larry Fishburne.
You brought up Big Adventure. Do you know the story about who the security guard was on the Pee-wee's Playhouse TV show?
I don't think so.
John Singleton was the security guard that sat outside the door of the studio, and he was also the guy that made sure that kids never saw Paul Rubens smoking cigarettes, because Paul was always he didn't want kids seeing Pee-wee smoking.
But getting caught masturbating was okay.
Well, the kids didn't catch him masturbating.
Yeah, there you go. The kids didn't see him whack off. We're good. So Singleton was the security guard that sat outside the studio, and he was always asking, like, Paul, did you read my script? Lawrence, did you read my script? Kept harping on him. The script was Boys in the Hood, and Lawrence Fishburne ended up being in the movie. That's
amazing.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Hey, Pee-wee, did you read Boys in the Hood? That's fucking weird.
What's really weird is that if you go back far enough, Pee Wee Herman was in like a Cheech and Chong movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the Blues Brothers.
He started that, like, that character, and then like he was in the Groundlings and all that. Like,
yeah,
that character has been around for a long time.
Well, the original, like, stage show wasn't, like, really, like, it was crafted like a kid show, but had adult humor in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing when I was like 14 or something like that, they were showing the live Pee-wee's, he comes out on stage and he does the live thing, and he's like got the old sucker man, and he's going through a bag, goes sucker man, throws it on the ground, and yeah, and then it got crafted in a Pee Wee's Playhouse like 5 years later, and I'm like, everyone's all going, "This is so cool!" I'm like, "I saw this. This is the live show that I saw like 5 years ago, man."
He has a lot of those. He has a lot of the set pieces and stuff. Like he actually owns them.
Oh yeah, and yeah.
So like if you go to Paul Rubens' house, like it is Pee Wee's Playhouse, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. It's good.
He's doing a.
Oh. He's also on Blacklist.
Yeah.
That Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens, yeah. Yeah, I got that information in my ear a second ago.
We were just answering to a disembodied voice.
Yeah. So, Dustin, can I ask, who were some of your horror directors as influences?
Definitely Fred Decker. Night of the Creeps and Monster Squad are two of my favorite movies ever. Guillermo del Toro is basically a deity to me. I'm trying to think who else. If I wasn't thinking about it, I could list like 30 names. But, but a lot of my favorite filmmakers aren't even, necessarily like horror filmmakers. Del Toro is like, I don't even know if the closest he's ever gone to full-blown horror is probably Kronos, I guess, but most of his stuff is just like that weird dark fantasy, which I like. Even his ghost stories are like that, and I actually like groove to that a lot more than strictly horror, like just where there's that fantastical element, the supernatural stuff, creatures and things that human beings don't necessarily understand, like that Lovecraftian element and stuff like that. It used to be Robert Rodriguez. I haven't loved anything he's made recently, but I used to really, really be into his stuff.
I like the new Sin City.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen New Sin City. I'm excited to see it, but I haven't checked it out yet. It wasn't in theaters very long around here. So I think it tanked, unfortunately. But
well, the one minor problem that Sin City had was that it was a 9-year wait for the second movie.
I agree with that. Yeah.
If they would have jumped on it like 3, 4, maybe 5 years after the first film, it would have did a lot better. But
my understanding is that so much of that waiting, because they were going to do it like right away, like a year or two after, and so much of that waiting is because they wanted Angelina Jolie to play the character that Ava Green ended up playing, and they were like waiting on her, and she kept getting pregnant or doing other things and stuff like that. So they waited on her forever, and then Rodriguez had to kind of move on to other projects to keep working and stay relevant.
So it's Brad Pitt's fault for dumping loads in her.
Yep. Dumping them loads, fucking up Sin City 2. Way to go, load dumper.
You know what? I liked it anyways. With or without Angelina, I'm good.
Well, Ava Green's awesome, though. I mean,
yeah,
she might be better than Angelina Jolie.
It was a cool. Yeah, it was a really cool idea. They brought back just about everyone that they could, with the exception of Michael Clark Duncan,
right? Brittany Murphy,
and Devon Aoki didn't come back as Miho. They got Jamie Chung.
She got pregnant, right? Like I think that was what is it with that movie and pregnant chicks? But I think Devon Aoki didn't come in to play Miho again because she just recently got pregnant and like couldn't do the stunts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Clive Owen didn't back either, right?
No, but that's the thing. It's like Clive Owen's character is back in the movie. So in the first movie, he walks into the bar, and Brittany Murphy says, "Oh, nice new face," or something like that.
Yeah, they make reference in the first movie that he's had surgery to change his face.
Right.
And so when you see him in Sin City 2, it's Josh Brolin, right?
Yeah, it's Josh Brolin. He's playing him before the face surgery.
Yeah.
See that I mean, and I understand like
I can't hear Wes. Can you guys hear him?
I can't hear Wes. No.
You just cut
Can
out,
you hear
buddy.
me?
We missed that. Now
There
I
we
got
go.
you.
You got me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.